Hello, Gorillas. Welcome back to the Vegan Gorilla Cooking Show. I'm your boy, Chef Perry, the Vegan Gorilla. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a very simple gravy, vegan mushroom gravy. Very tasty, goes on with anything. A couple little tricks are going to be in here. I'll show you what to do, little tips, I guess. And after that, I'll show you a simple comfort food that I used to get when I was a kid. Simple, easy, once gravy is made. You might even want to try it. It's actually pretty good. But anyways, stick with me and let's get started. All right, we are back and we're going to start this puppy up. So we're going to cut up our mushrooms first. We got big button mushrooms. Now, a lot of people like to wash these underwater and stuff like that, which obviously you can, but the best way really is just to take a damp cloth or paper towel and wipe it off clean, because the mushroom already contains a lot of moisture, water already content. So if you're underwater now, it's just going to soak it up and make them a little bit more soggier when you cook. So anyways, that's one little tip. Second is I like to slice the mushrooms this way. And the reason I do that is you get smaller chunks, but then you also get some nice large ones with the stem stick on. It looks kind of cool in the finished product. So let's do that. In the meantime, I'll heat up the pan using a cast iron pan. Love it, love it. So let's get this started. Get that heated up. Meantime, we'll cut up our mushrooms. The fan is loud, eh? Wow. So this is what I mean by you get a couple small pieces, but then you get some of these cool pieces too. Like that. So it kind of looks cool. Anyways, I got about 8 ounces of mushrooms here, but anyways, I'll measure it. I'll put all the ingredients in the link below for you and stuff in the meantime, and that way you can make your own, make less, make more. We'll probably make, I don't know, I'm gonna probably do about 2 cups worth of gravy, so you'll be able to use that however you want. Reheat's good. Stores in the fridge. Keep it for a couple days, obviously. Probably 3-4 days. Could probably do longer. I don't know. It's never really lasted longer than that, so I'm not sure if it'll spoil at that point. So I'm just getting my mushrooms a little cut up here. We're gonna put that in. We're gonna start sauteing them. And as you can see, I got a lot of mushrooms here. So you don't have to use this many. It's just, I like my my gravy very mushroomy. I like it thick too. So I'm gonna give you a couple tips on what you can do as far as the thickness and how to, if you like, some people like a little bit more runny, their gravy in that. I like mine a little bit thicker, but anyways, there's a couple ways you can do that, and I'll show you that in a minute. Let's get these done. Last one. All right. Throw a little olive oil in. Olivier oil. All right. It's ready. It's hot. All right. These are gonna put these in. They're gonna cook down. While we do that, we'll chop our onion. I'm using about a quarter of a medium-sized white onion here. You can leave it out if you want. Probably best if you use a scallion. They're a little less dominant in flavor, a little more sweeter and stuff. So you won't notice it as much. I like to have the onion bits in. I don't cook them right down. I like to have just a little bit in there. It adds flavor. I like the white onions, a little bit more flavor too than the scallions. So anyways, that's kind of what I like doing. So again, just gonna chop this up really small little mince. There's no real, not doing any kind of pattern or anything like that. I'm just chopping them. I like all different sizes, so I don't care about the consistency as far as big, small, even, anything like that. So a quarter mushroom. Mince up some pieces. You'll have some larger chunky ones. Nothing wrong with being a little chunky. All right, let's throw those bad boys in with the mushrooms. All right, let's give it a little stir, a little dab on top again, a little slight drizzle. Now I'm going to cook these for a bit first before I add some salt in. I mean, use the salt in there to draw out the moisture, but if I do that, I want the mushrooms to draw their own moisture out first so they'll crisp up a little bit more, and then I'll add salt in a minute. And you can see on the one side here, starting to brown up already a little bit. You can see that. Oh well. Used to be able to do that. I don't know what the hell. All right, so let this just saute up a little bit. Smelling good, smelling good. Now let's get our garlic. Take little bits off the ends. Slice up our garlic. Now the garlic I'm going to do nice and soft fine. Looks like someone's at the door. It's not, just me. Runaway garlic, runaway garlic. Give it a little pivot chop mince. Smelling good. All right, throw our garlic in. Again, you don't have to put garlic in if you don't like garlic, but well, I do not like garlic, but anyways, each to their own. And the garlic actually cooks down, becomes quite subtle, so you don't really taste it, but it does enhance the flavors quite a bit. Okay, so this is starting to saute up good. I got it on about a medium-high heat here. Now, we got our ingredients. We got my favorite, a little bit of love. Gotta put some love in there. Oh yeah. Thank you. All right. Get that in there. Nice, nice. Sauteing up nice. So I got some herbs here. Now I'm going to put a little bit of salt in actually because it's getting close to being ready. So a couple of pinches of kosher sea salt. Stir, let that sit. Quit playing with it, Jim. Chef Barry, come on. Okay, so now I have some spices here. What I'm going to add in is probably some thyme. If I keep it here, it'll be thyme on my side. And I'm going to add just a little bit of cumin and some garlic salt. But before I do that, let's get this started first. I'm going to add that in with the sauce of the gravy. Or not the sauce, the chicken broth, sorry. Chicken broth. I'm not being grilled. Vegetable broth. Make sure you get vegetable broth, not chicken broth, because then it won't be vegan anymore. All right, this is looking good. They're all starting to brown up nice. You can see that. Should I try to flip one more time? So you can see it. Try to flip. Oh yeah. Still got it. Okay. Then about 30 seconds more. Then I'm going to add in our vegetable stock and classic ground pepper. Throw a little bit of that in now. Use lots of ground pepper. You don't have to, but I like to use a lot. I'm going to put some more in later. Stir again. Okay. So now, add our vegetable stock. I have about 1 cup there. Oh, the sizzle's gone away. Where did the sizzle go? I'm gonna add another cup in because I like to make 2 cups of gravy. Doesn't last long around here. Goes good with anything. You just put some rice and boil some rice and put some gravy on that, and you're good to go. Like I said, I'll show you a good little comfort food I had when I was a kid. Pretty tasty, actually. Okay, so now we're gonna let that sit there, come to a little bit of boil. I'm gonna crank her up just a touch. Go! All right. Now I'm gonna give a healthy thing of oregano, a teaspoon. Cumin. I don't want too much cumin in. I find that dominates a little bit. So about half. Some garlic salt. And a little thyme on my side. Thyme on my side. All right. Enough for corn jokes. Start cooking. Just give that a little beat. Just gonna swoosh that around a little bit and we'll let that get going. Meantime, I'm gonna make a little slurry. And what we'll do, actually we can do it right in here so you can see it. I'm gonna put a little bit of stock in there. And I forgot to get a spoon, so I'll use my wooden teaspoon, but I'm gonna be putting quite a few in there, so some generous teaspoons. Don't worry, I'll have it all measured out after. I'll put the proper thing down there. Now, this here little Gorilla Tip I use, you can use cornstarch, you can use regular flour. I use brown rice flour. The reason for that is I find it doesn't clump up as much. Sometimes when you put cornstarch in and or the regular flour and stuff, it tends to clump up and you got to really manipulate it a little bit. But this will clump too, obviously. But again, what I like to do is I like to make the slurry first. So that's why I put it here instead of it dispersing it in there and then try to get all the clumps out. So give that a nice stir. See, no, look at that, no clumps. That's awesome. What a trick. All right, coming to a boil. It's a simmering. It's a simmering. Okay, let's get this there. Actually, I'm gonna put a touch more garlic salt in. About half a teaspoon. Put that away. Do that more pepper. Like give it a little bounce to get the excess off so it doesn't go everywhere after. Okay, that's looking good. Turn that way so I don't cut myself. All right. So we've come to a boil. Mild boil. Simmering. No, simmering. That's similar to simulating. No, it's not. Simmering. All right, let's throw it down a little bit. Get it down to low and slow. And then we're going to add in our slurry. I'm going to make this a couple times because, again, the more you put in, the thicker it's going to get, longer you cook it too, actually. But if you like your gravy runny, that's fine. I like mine to have a little bit of thickness to it. And I'll show you why in the dish that I make. So we'll get that going. Okay, this is coming down. All right. So, a little mix. Make sure everything's good. No clumps, baby, no clumps. Give that a little stir. It's got to agitate a little bit. Or it can hang out with me for about 20 minutes. That'll agitate it. Now again, that's not, to me, that'll thicken up anyways, but that's not thick enough the way I like it. So I'm gonna add some more stock and some more brown rice powder. Just a little bit. The stock, it's more about the powder. Keep the counts in my head so I make sure you get the measurements right for you later. I've done like 5 heaping teaspoons on each one. Using a little less stock on this one because I don't want it to be as runny. Oh yeah, okay. Let's see what happens. Let's give that a little cook. Get these onions in here. I don't know about you guys, but I love cooking with cast iron. Get that iron in there and it just heats up good. I don't know, I just find the flavor is a little bit different. Don't ask me how, it just does. I'm not sure why. Maybe I like metal taste and things, I don't know. All right, so let's just let's watch that cook for a while, okay? I'm just kidding. Let's do something else. All right. Let's clean up while we're doing that. Locked and loaded. Get some more black pepper there. Might use a little bit more brown rice in a minute. An empty bowl here, I'm not sure why. Huh. Ah, I know. I was gonna put my scraps in there originally, but didn't have any. Except for the one that fell on there. So not gonna bother with that and dirty another bowl because I gotta wash it later. Okay, my little olive oil. It's my olive oil, Popeye, it's my olive oil. All right, keeps you white. A little pinchy poo of salt. That's that. Okay, yeah, it's starting to bubble up now a little bit and starting to thicken up. It's nice. It takes about 10 minutes roughly from start to finish, 10-12 minutes to cook this. Now you want to make sure you do bring it to a boil and cook good, obviously, because of the brown rice and all of that too. You just flour in there and have that crappy taste in there. So this is starting to look nice. It's starting to gel up a little bit. I do need a little bit more flour. Again, it's fine like this if you guys like it. I like mine thick, so I put a little bit more in. I'll, with the measurements, I'll put in how much I put in here today, and you'll see the thickness when I'm done. If you want it thinner, you know, you can cut it in half, cut it by a third, or just, you know, whatever you want, a little bit less, and or do it as you go along. So now this time I'm actually not making the slurry first. I'm just putting it in there. This way it gives it a quick absorption. All right. And then make sure you whisk it good. Again, I like the brown rice because it doesn't really leave the clumps as much. I mean, it does. Oh, you won't be able to see, I guess, so much here. But when you put it in here, it's almost like little pieces of feta cheese or something. But once you stir it, you just keep working at it. It'll break down. But that's why I do the majority, because I use so much. I do the majority of it in and make my own little slurry first, and put it in that way. That way it tends to thicken up a bit. All right, it's looking good. It's looking thick. Well, it's not quite the way I like it yet, but it's thickening. Now, if you really want to see this thicken up, you don't have to do anything else, just turn it off. Give it an hour, it'll be thick. And when you go to reheat it, if you don't use it all in the one evening or one sitting, unless you're feeding a bunch of people with it, when you go to reheat it back up, just add a little bit of vegetable stock in it if it's too thick. Maybe an ounce at a time, and then get it warmed up and heat it up. Bring it to a soft boil, and then reduce it down. Always bring it up to a boil a little bit so you can kill any pathogens or anything like that. And then bring it back down to a medium-low heat, and it should heat up nice. Again, you can manipulate the thickness with the vegetable stock, adding a little bit more in each time to thin it out. Or you can, if you want, if it's not thick enough still, you can add some more brown rice flour, or cornstarch, or regular flour, whatever it is that you're using. So, all right. So I'm gonna let this sit for a minute. I'll grab a plate, clean this up a little bit. I'll bring back my little comfort food recipe that I'm going to show you how to do, and whip this together real quick, and we'll put it together. All right. See you in a minute. Okay, gorillas, we are back. The mushroom gravy is looking good, looking thick. And let that cool down just a touch. A little stir. Oh yeah. Okay, so once you have that done, what I like to do is show you a little meal that we had when we were kids. Some people call it poor man's meal, poor person's meal, whatever. I just call it delicious. But it's basically bread and gravy. So what I do is I take a couple slices of bread, throw it on, overlap, get my gravy. And I don't know if you can see, not too runny, a little thick. So it's just about the right consistency that I like. So let's put some of that on there. Oh yeah. Cover and smother. Cover and smother. All right. A little more cracked black pepper on there. Give the sides a little wipe because I spilt a little bit on the overflow. People like to eat with their eyes, so it's always nice to have a clean plate when you're having guests over and stuff, so you're not making it look sloppy and that. Just gonna take a little bit of oregano. Put that on top. Dress it up a little bit. A little bit more flavor. There you have it, folks. That is my old school. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for showing me this when I was a kid. Probably complained about eating it when I was a kid. I'm sure I did. But I have to tell you, I really like it now. I find a lot of things when you get older, taste buds change and tend to like things a little bit more. I don't know if it's because of the taste buds or if it's just the memories that, bring you back to your childhood and stuff like that. So let's give this a try and see what how we're gonna rate it. 1 out of 5 gorillas, come on. He's like, look at that mushroom. Oh. Oh yeah. If you've never had this, you got to give it a try. I don't like soggy bread personally and stuff like this, but I mean, this doesn't even sog up, and it won't be soggy because I'll eat it too fast anyways. But the texture is good. The flavor of the mushrooms are good. The sauce, the gravy, just everything is really good. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 gorillas. And mainly because it brings me back to childhood memories and old school. But it is really good. Obviously not the most nutritious meal, just having bread and gravy, but it does fill the hole, as they say, and it's just a nice little comfort food, whether it's biscuit and gravy, but that's another idea too, you can just put some biscuits under there, and but this is how we did it when I was a kid. Let me know in the comments if you guys ever tried this, or your parents ever fed this to you when you were a kid, and we'll know you from the old school. All right? All right. I'm going to finish this off. If I don't see you again, or if I do see you again, when I see you again, much love and namaste. See you next time.